Well, World War II has been studied for decades, basically since the very day the war ended, and secrets are still being uncovered, including one that could have completely changed the course of history. Author Brad Meltzer joins us to talk about his new book that reveals a little-known covert plot. First of all, welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Okay, what is the plot of your book? It involves the leaders of the Allies, right?
Yeah, it's called The Nazi Conspiracy, the secret plot to kill FDR, Stalin, and Churchill at the height of World War II. And this is a moment in 1943. It's all a true story when the Allies are meeting for the very first time face to face. They're there. Stalin wants us to invade continental Europe. He's getting, of course, decimated by the Nazis. We're sending weapons, but he's like, no, you need to come in. Normandy needs to happen. And FDR realizes that he's got to bring Churchill together, Stalin together, and basically end this Nazi threat. So this meeting is just millions of lives are at stake. And it's in Tehran, Iran, is where the meeting takes place. FDR comes in his motorcade, and everyone's waving because they want to see the president. And what they don't know, though, is that the person inside that motorcade is not FDR. It's actually a Secret Service agent acting as a decoy. The real FDR is across town, ducked down and hiding in the back of a beat-up sedan, racing through the side streets because they're worried that there's a Nazi assassin who's about to murder him. And I just ruined chapter 1 of The Nazi Conspiracy, but that's how the book opens.
Okay, how did you uncover these plots? How'd you get all this information?
Yeah, we did a book called The First Conspiracy about the secret plot to kill George Washington. Then we did the Lincoln Conspiracy about the plot to kill Abraham Lincoln at the start of his presidency the first time. And, we had the National Archives to do research, and we had the New York Historical Society. Here, we had to have researchers who read German and who read Russian. We had to go through, Joseph Goebbels used to keep the head of propaganda for the Nazis. The top secret information was on brown sheets that were literally called that because they were printed on brown sheets of paper. And, you had to destroy it after you read it. It was like the Mission Impossible briefcase, but for the Nazis. And Joseph Goebbels used to keep extensive diaries and very stupidly would write down everything that he would read in the brown sheets in his diaries. And we were able to see things like, we couldn't tell when they figured out that the big three were going to meet, but you better believe they figure it out. They find it out. They had cracked our international cables. They knew what Winston Churchill and FDR were saying to each other. And now they had some Nazis on the ground in Tehran, and the Nazis had the greatest thing of all anyone has in a fight, which is an opportunity. And it's an incredible true story.
So other than that great surprise, I never knew that about FDR hiding like that. What other surprises? And there's also some interesting characters in that, too.
Yeah, one of the most amazing stories is about a Nazi named Otto Skorzeny, someone I'd never heard of. And Adolf Hitler pages Skorzeny to his Wolfslayer, to Hitler's private headquarters. He brings together all of his special operations fighters, Hitler does, because he wants to see who the best one is. And he lines them all up and asks them one question: what do you think of Italy? And they all give their answers saying Italy's on their side, and they, fight with them, of course. But Otto Skorzeny blurts above everybody else, I am from Austria, my Fuhrer. And it's a gamble by Skorzeny because he knows, of course, that Adolf Hitler is from Austria. And if you're from Austria, you resent Italy because in World War I, Italy took a key piece of Austria and never returned it. And in that moment, Adolf Hitler turns and he realizes in Otto Skorzeny that he's got his guy. And he takes Otto Skorzeny and he puts him in charge of the wildest secret mission. I don't want to ruin this part of the book, but the wildest top secret mission you'll ever see. It is so wild that Josh Mensch, my co-writer, and I asked the editor of the book, can we put a photograph from that moment in the book? Because when people read it, they won't believe it unless they see it. It's the wildest Nazi rescue mission you've ever seen and that you've never heard of in your life.
You have piqued my interest even more. This is on the top of my reading list right now. Brad, thank you very much. If you would like more information, sounds like a fascinating book, and World War II and everything about it is so fascinating. Go to SALive.com, click on the As Seen on SA Live tab for a link. You can find it hardcover and on all the readers and everything. Brad, thank you very much. Nice chatting with you.
Celebrate San Antonio with us on YouTube.
Yeah, all of your favorite DIY videos, food, drinks, tips, and tricks. If you've seen it here, it's on the SA Live YouTube channel.
Just search KSAT SA Live on YouTube and like, subscribe, and ring the bell.